Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Hillbilly Files, or if it's your first time, welcome to the Hillbilly Files. My name is Leo, and I will be your humble hillbilly host today. I am in Logan, West Virginia today, at the old City View Cemetery in, like I said, in Logan, West Virginia, at the top of City View Drive. Had a time finding this one, believe it or not. You would think City View Cemetery, City View Drive, but the directions take you somewhere else. So the listing is wrong for this one. Anyway, like I said, the City View Cemetery here is really hard to find, and it's often confused with being on High Street. And it's actually, like I said, on City View Drive here in Logan. It took us 2 tries to find it, but we are here. City View at one time was the spot where some of the earliest settlers to the area first cleared and built their cabins right here on this hillside. Imagine that. To this day, this land still holds some of the earliest settlers to the Logan area. They lived their lives here and are still here now. Reading some of the blogs online, there were stories about it actually having exposed coffins and bones scattered around in the 40s. One person even said they found a skull here as a kid and put it on a stick and held it up to other people's windows to try and scare them, until his mom found out about it and he got in some serious trouble. Anyway, supposedly the mom went down and complained to the city that it was, unsafe, unsanitary, and just a little bit disgusting. But as far as the graves go, graveyard itself, it has 77 people listed as being here on Find a Grave. Only 2 have pictures. Pretty much all of them are missing any form of documentation. And like I said, only 2 listings even have headstone photos. So that means anyone else that we find here today is literally a lost chapter in history. Each one represents a real life, and each one has an untold story just waiting to be told. So hopefully we can do some good in that area today too. Now I'll be exploring this old cemetery. This is literally as far as I've came right here. I'm doing another video looking for someone in particular today as well. So I did that little part and I walked from there to here. This is as far as I've gone so far. There was a pretty good view of town from here at one point. It's literally on the other side of these trees. But the place, it smells wonderful. Honeysuckle, honeysuckle. This entire tree right here is completely covered in honeysuckle, honeysuckle, honeysuckle. I mean, the entire place just smells so sweet right now, and it's just such a pretty day, It's nice and warm, and got a lot of shade on it too, because I'll be going up and down the hill a lot today. So a lot of these are not going to have markers, but hopefully some do, and the ones we find, we can document. Just got to watch out for getting a little bit snaky time of year. You just got to watch out for that stuff. Just stay on the edge here. Trying to get down here where I can see it. Mother. Mother and grandmother, Mary Anthony, born 1898 and died 1945, I think. Yeah, no. Yeah, 1941, excuse me. That was a tough one. Right off the bat, we had a tough one. No water weeds. Okay, no name, no name, no name. You can see there's one here. Wait a minute. Okay, through the briars we go. Little stickers. Spotted this one down here. And a bicycle. Man, this is some really overgrown stuff, isn't it? No name on that side. No name. Okay, let's see. That goes to this. Okay, anything below me? Ouch. Okay, that looks clear. Alright. Kind of work the hillside. Wow, they go way back up into the woods up there. I'll have to go all the way up there today. There will be a mountain to climb. How about that? Of course, not that bad, I guess. Let's see. You can see a name used to be there. T. I see a 26. Looks like an 8. Makes no sense. 268 though. No, not a chance. Maybe. Let's see. Nothing on that side at all. Nothing but some mud. I'm gonna put that right back where it was at. Okay, work our way around the bottom. There's one, no name. Here's one. Fieldstone as well. I'm guessing there's more. Yeah, I see dips. I can see dips in the weeds. Just kind of work my way down here cautiously. Just to be sure. I try not to miss anybody. I know I wouldn't want to be missed. I see one down there, so there's more on this hill. There's one laying down. It used to say something. See, that's a double right there. There's two there. And that would be town down in here. That would be the town of Logan. Well, that would be the city view. That ain't there no more. Plenty honeysuckle though. Now, I usually don't okay, that's just a pedestal. The top part's missing. Thought it was a key, one of the kiosks, little spires, but it isn't. Somebody had electricity hooked up to that tree at one point. Maybe no, it couldn't have been an electric fence. It'd been way too high. It's 10 feet off the ground, at least. Okay. On with the search. I see you over there. I'm gonna keep an eye if I see any more down here in this thick stuff. Up top, the grass is cut, but down here it's not. It's just wild as a buck down here, ain't it? There's one right there. Nothing. Here we go. Let me get down here. William Sands? W-I-L-L-M. Mills? Will Mills. Okay. And, it looks like and. N-A-S. Was. Oh, was. Born. Wow, that's a tough one to read, isn't it? Let me get off this tree. I'm kind of sitting on part of a tree here to try. That is a really cool looking old stone though, isn't it? I can tell it in random words here and there. That's about all I can tell on it. Alright, where did the other one go? It's down here. It's an old section of fence someone's rolled up. There's more here. There's one there. There's one there. Two over there. None of them have stones. I'd say every bit of this is graves. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Wow, look at that one. Sucks, don't it? You see these old, you know it's a historic graveyard. I mean, you know it's historic. There's gotta be all kinds of historic characters in here. Has to be. Almost, I can see a teeny little bit of town through the trees right there. Can't read anything on that one. Concrete and stones. Look at that, somebody made a little pedestal. It's got steel in it too, it's got some metal in it. Look at this, there's one. There's a double right there, there's two right there. This is, wow. You can barely get through it now. Barely. Whoa. Look at that little devil. You walk under that thing, he'll rip you to pieces. Almost walked right under it. There's one. Go around it. Unmarked. I try not to step on them, guys. To me, it's just, well, one thing, it's disrespectful, but it's also dangerous. They can very easily collapse. Old graves like this, there's no vault. It's just an old pine box. And that's it. That pine box goes bad, you step on it. Well, I think you get the point. Okay, this one is Sadie Caldwell. I would get a little bit closer, but I can't really get in there. Sadie Caldwell, November 25th, 1889 to May 2nd, 1938. Wow. And to think a lot of these, you know, a lot of these literally predate record keeping in the area. This is considerably older. This was log cabins when this graveyard was started. But you can see there's concrete there, here, cinder blocks where somebody's built something. Oh my God, I'm standing on it, ain't I? Yeah, you can see blocks there and back up from many, many years ago. And it goes on down too. There's one right by my feet. There, 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 there. Oh my God, look at that one. That one has collapsed completely in. Look what a hole. See what I mean about the wooden boxes? That's what they do. That's what pine boxes do after 100 years. The whole thing just collapses in on itself. Okay, I see fence. Right there, we're at the bottom. I see fence line. Definitely. Okay. Man, that is wild though, ain't it? Look at that. Alright, where's this fence go? A toy truck hanging in a tree there. I just noticed that. Little Tonka toy. Okay, I don't see any stones. We'll have to swap batteries pretty soon. I'm down to about 30%. Okay, that's the one I was just at. And I don't see any stones down that way. I see the fence. Look at that though. What a hole. That one ain't gonna fall in with you. I'd say there ain't a whole lot of dirt between the grave, the coffin, what's left of it, and the air. Not a whole lot of dirt on that one. Here's one. Fieldstone. Deer been bedding back here too. Good spot. Well hidden. Very well hidden. Alright, can I get through here or do I gotta go up and over? I think I can. Alright, snakes. Here we come. You don't bite me and I won't bite you. Almost out. We're through. There's probably a few underneath there too. Probably quite a few because the fence is down there. All right. Continue around the lower perimeter and work my way up the side. I can see more here. Like right there's one. See if I can read that. I can read anything on it. No way. That is considerably older than me. There's two right there. See if I see anything down here, and then I'll come back to that one. And shovel. You know what that was used for, don't you? Somebody up here digging the grave. Broke a handle. Got me a good little deer path right through here, if nothing else. There's a couple here too. There. There. I don't see a single stone for any of these. Not a single one. Little paths that the deer make for you. Now they tie together. This one, that path, deer path comes in right here, game trail, and then another one goes up this way. See, there's a field stone right there. There's one. And that fence goes on up through there too. Okay, where's the fence end? That's a good question. Goes down that way and back, don't it? Okay. Over that one, under this one. Well, if nothing else, never let it be said that I won't go the extra mile to try, huh? We'll give it a real shot. I don't see any headstones out this way. Fence goes there and turns down the hill. I see two here. So I think rather than taking that game trail, I'll take that game trail. Blackberries. Raspberries, I mean. Raspberries. Won't be long. Another month or so. Okay, I don't see any stones that way. Yeah, there might be over there. But I definitely see one here. Nope, it is not. Just a piece of tin. Look like a stone. Now that's a field stone for sure. That's a grave. Very peaceful back in here. I'll say that much. I think I'm at the back. Look at that. Old plow laying up here. Check that out. What's left of one. That is wild. Somebody was plowing this. Somebody farmed this at one point. I see an old blind over there too. Somebody's got their deer blind up here. Okay, all right. Let's start working our way backwards. Back through the middle. See what we see. I've got to change batteries at 1%. They're dragging it out, huh? Okay, new battery. Of course, that don't recharge Leo very much, but it does help the camera. I have no clue what that used to be. Huh. Who knows? Alright, where are we going? We going this way. What another game trail? Okay, we're right on track. Just try to keep my bearings. Easy to get twisted up out in places like this if you ain't paying attention. Scared the crap out of me, man. I did that. The little sound. I just knew that was a snake. I was sure. Okay, where we're going. Alright. To stop and reassess about every other step. Now, game trail. Alright, don't get too ahead of myself here. Get too zippy. Run right by somebody. Those other ones are right over here somewhere. The deer tracks. We're definitely using this trail, ain't we? Where did those two other ones go? I've lost them. Okay, that's the main part of the cemetery there. The grassy part was cut. Alright, there's two here I missed. Let's go find them. Can't be leaving people behind. Good Lord, look at that tree. Look at the size of that monster. That thing had to be 200 foot tall. It's a good spot to run into a snake too. Around down logs. They like to hang around that stuff. Alright, where'd they go? They come over too far? Or not far enough? Not far enough. There they are. A minute. Yeah. Here we go. This is a Spanish-American war veteran, guys. And all this stuff, look at this. This is James Turner, Troop E, 10th Regimental Cavalry, Spanish-American War, 1872 to 1954. Hang on. One second. Okay. Alright, there's my upper path that I was coming back, aiming for on the way back. Decided to go higher. Good thing I did too. I would have missed him. Alright. Okay, have not been through here because a spider web just got over my face. Okay, I came through that earlier. There's a field stone there. Well, I've lost those two somewhere. Where did I go? There's something, some stones in here. Flowers. Field stone there. Just imagine how many people are actually buried up here. I imagine that view was spectacular at one time. It's a good place too, you know, back then anyway. Well up out of flood range. And hunt right out your back door. I bet this was pretty good little spot back then. Had a good view. You can't see it from here, but you got the river comes down this way. The bridge, there's a bridge right over here. You can't see it either. Okay, there's that old refrigerator door. I still do not see. May have been just a aha. Aha. I see him. See, here's a couple. No stones though. There's one. There's one. See, down there is where I came through the trees. So right here's the two I saw. It's actually one that's broken. That's the top half? Yeah. I don't know, maybe not. Could be a separate grave. It don't look like the pieces fit, do they? That's got a bowl shape to it, and that's flat. I don't think it is. I think the top of this one's just broken off and missing. and I don't see it anywhere. But look at that, you can see a grave there. There's a grave on the other side of that tree. Down there's one, there's one, there's one, here's one. I bet you there's a couple hundred people here. Look at this. Look right here. Just pick this up right out of the weeds. Look at that. I'll put this right back where it was at. Infant Isaacs, 1967 to 67. And that was right here. We'll put that right back where it was at. Except we'll stand it up. Okay. Some of these have names, don't they? And here's one, and there's one. This is John O. Taylor, 1903 to 1956. Michael Dale Workman, 1984 to 1984. It's a baby. Hen of the woods. Anybody hungry? I've never eaten it. Supposedly tastes like chicken. Never eaten it. Don't think I'm going to either. This looks too nasty. Okay. And quit goofing off with the plants. Okay, just a cross on that one. L-L-E-N. It could be, just about has to be Allen, don't it? E-L-L. And the death date is 1937. I don't know when the birth date is. It's gone. Okay. Now see, some of these you can tell. This one just says H-W. Yeah, here's some more Ellises. Well, presumably that was an Ellis. Okay, this one just has a cross, no name. Nope. Tilda Ellis, 1878 to 1928. It's wild, isn't it? Been gone almost 100 years. There's a double. There's two more. There's one. There. They're everywhere on this hillside. And these are some really old ones too. Howard Adkins, 1928 to 1930. Baby Ellis, 1959 to 1959. Name. No name. No name. Looks like there used to be something. I'll double check the other side. If I can get a hold of it. Nothing. Nothing but dirt. And a huge spider. Huge spider. Yeah, big spider. Okay, No name. Nothing. See a lot of those too, you know, just sort of a placeholder so that everyone else will know that someone is there already. Okay, those are field stones. Field stones, there's a few out there. So we'll get these real quick. There's one with something on it. World War II vet. Look here. Roy W. Vance, West Virginia, Sergeant 10th Infantry, 5th Infantry Division, World War II, 1923 to 1944. This is probably, just guessing, this is probably a war death. You know, there's a lot of them. You know, you'll see these military graves. You see, you know, 1988 or whatever, and you know, they come home from the war. 1944. Looks like Roy may have gotten killed just before the end of the war. That's what the research is for, though, right? Barbara Sue Markham. I see a 1953. The birth part is gone. There's a little aluminum plates here. That one's still, make sure it's in, this part's missing, birth year. Okay, we'll come back to that. Stones. That one just has a big E on it. BJF. Looks like wife, W-I-F-E. T-E-V-V. This is Ray Keaton, 1920 to 1962. Here's another one with them little aluminum plates. No name left, just to see. Born 1925, or died in 1925 is all I can tell. You can't make out, the name's gone. The letter C is all that's left. And a T over here. Presumably same type of stone, so presumably related to the other one. Here's another one just like them. C-R-A Gracie, Gracie A-N-C-E, Gracie Ants. Whoa. Rest in peace. Can't really tell, can you? Sometimes a name will be all you need. There's another Vance. E-L-Ellie Vance. 1901. Died 1927. Young. Okay. Trying to be careful if this is like one of those over there, but yeah, it's completely gone. You can see where it used to be right there, but it's gone now. It was one of those labels like the other two. Okay, that one, there's no way. Yeah. Step over. In between, actually. Okay. You know, that goes with this, has an A on it. A-E. Allen Ellis, 1925 to 1960. K-I-E Ellis. Key? I don't think there's any letters missing. 1894 to 1942. Okay, that's an unmarked. This one's unmarked. Alright, what do we got in the weeds over here? Here, rattlesnake. Gint. Clarence Gint, 1924 to 1950. Military, looks like. Just trying to look back through the weeds, back into the brush, see if I see anything. Yes, I will go in there after them. Absolutely will go in there after them. Okay. W.H. Willie LeMaster, 1905 to 1940. See one up there. Snap around. It's gonna be a tough one to get to. See, I see a footstone here. I don't see a headstone for it though. No. I do see one up there though. T.S. Tom LeMaster, 1898 to 1942. Sorry, I can't really do much better. That's about as close as I can get from here. It gets pretty deep. But as long as we can get close enough to read them, right? We'll document everybody that we can. There's a lot of times, you know, we'll get people, you know, that tell us that we showed their mom's grave or their grandmother's grave that they'd never seen before. Or occasionally somebody will, you know, they're ill or gotten to the age where they can't do this kind of stuff, and sometimes they'll ask us to go find their grandma for them. We'll go find her. So that's, you know, that's kind of cool that, you know, we enjoy doing what we do, and you know, it has a benefit. There's actually a benefit to it, you know, not just the fun of it. You know, getting out climbing these mountains and Heather doing her research and all that stuff. There's a benefit, you know. William S-I-N-E-R. I don't know if it's Sinner or Signer. Let's see. World War I. Sergeant, 418th Res. I'm not sure what that is. You'd think regiment, but it says RES. Labor BM QMC, it's Quartermaster Corps. World War I, 1898 to 1953. World War I, guys. Okay, where are we at? Okay, that was the LeMaster I just found over there. Starting to break a little bit of sweat here. I ain't gonna lie about it. Okay, I see a couple way up there too. I'll have to, let's see. What's the best way? Stuff like this, you know, you would like to see it cleaned up and, you know, refurbished, I guess. Just because of the historic nature of it. But I suppose you have to understand, you know, a lot of this stuff is abandoned and there literally is no one to take care of it. Someone's cutting the grass here. Someone is cutting grass, so presumably, I mean, you can see where they've cut up through there. So presumably whoever's cutting the grass is related to whoever's up here. Look at this one. I don't even think I can get that out. I can't. Hodge. Hodge and died in 1939. This is William Grant Hodge, West Virginia S1 Navy, USNR, World War II, 1926 to 1950. He made it home after the war, but not long after, did he? And look at that. Just look what a view from here, guys. Now imagine 100 years ago when none of these, when all this was clear, you could see all of Logan. 4-lane comes up, goes, bridge goes across, town's right here. The boulevard is what it's called. It goes up that way, and town is literally right there. So I see why it was called City View now. That's how the street got its name too, no doubt. How they both got named. View of the city. Such as it was back then. It wasn't much of a city then, was it? It was just a few log cabins. Lionel Ellis, 1899 to 1976. That one's shredded. Can't tell if that's a dip or a tree where it's come out of the ground. Same, that's a grave. This one's a grave. That's definitely a grave right there. And that. Well, there are more. I don't see any headstones over here. Surprised I haven't seen any snakes today, to tell you the truth. Days like today, in places like this, you see a lot of snakes usually. Just got to get used to it, I guess. You know, about like any other animal, I suppose. You just don't, you know, don't tempt him. Alright, what is this one? I don't want to walk on it. Okay. Now I see some fence going up right there. So I'm guessing, because I did see graveyards on the other side, or graves. So I'm guessing that's the boundary. And these two here are actually outside of the cemetery proper, we'll call it. Swing trick. I ain't used that one in a while. Hold on to a tree. Swing. Alright, let's see. Still got that side to do. Yeah, let's do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, guys. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Alright. There's one underneath that tree. You see the stone sticking up? That stone is holding that whole that tree up. Alright, fence. Where we at? Where we at? Okay. I ain't as quiet as a deer, but I get through. Okay, I don't see anything that way. Check this out. I do get into some predicaments, that's for sure. Pretty sure I just picked up about 40 ticks too. Alright, let go of my hat. Ah, standing upright again. That's nice. Okay, fence. I see it now. Why is there two fences? There's a fence there, a fence over here too. I don't see nothing up there. Okay, working my way back down. Still got the other side. It's a tough one today, guys. I did not think this one was going to be that bad. Why is that? There's another great big tree that fell, uprooted. I'll watch about letting it go. It's holding that thorn back right there. As soon as I let go, that thorn's coming my way. Nice try. Part of one, isn't it? Used to be. Alright, right here. I see one there. Cautiously. Any sign of movement, any sound. You know what it probably is the second you hear it. Get down here a little bit better. Kind of eyeball around a little bit. Okay. This is Lewis R. A-T-C-H-L-E-Y. Ackley? Who knows? T could be silent. Ackley. West Virginia. S1C. U.S. Navy. World War II. 1922 to 1945. See, this is another one that could have been very easily a death right at the end of the war. Okay, let's see. No, I did not go up that way, did I? There's more here, there, here. All right, let's go up a little bit right here. Let's see what we see. See, here's one, here's one, here's one. Up there, there. They're all over the place. It's a shame though, isn't it? You know, old historic cemeteries. Of course, I guess any cemetery is, you know, a shame to see it run down. But I don't know. I guess any of them run down's bad, isn't it? But that's the way it goes. Once they stop selling the plots, the money stops coming in, and some of them will do that, invest, you know, to try and do perpetual care forever. All it takes is one bad investment, one thief to take some money out of the account to where it doesn't no longer cover. That's all it takes. Look here. What's up, little dude? How you doing? How you doing? How is it? I was reading online that turtles, their nerves connect to their shells so they can feel, supposedly, I don't know, they can feel supposedly you petting them. Imagine that. How you doing, little dude? How is he? Yeah, you have you a good turtle day. You leave him alone. Alright, moving on. Annabelle Suber, 1894 to 1952. And here's one. There's a couple. They're everywhere here, just back in the mountains, ain't they? Just all over the place. Okay, I heard something over here, so I'm not going through that. I definitely heard something in there. I'm 6-8 feet from whatever it was. Don't know, not gonna find out either. It's right in here, something. And it's either a snake or a lizard. You know, it ain't no, you know. I don't think it's a turtle. He's over there. Okay, that's that flat field I worked back to. I see something up here. We got to go back and go up. Up it is. I figured there was a few more back behind that big log. It just looked suspicious. See, here's one right there. Frank Richardson. Look at that. Just completely covered. Knocked out of place. This is an old one too. He's born in Frank Richardson. Born in 1876. Wow. And passed away in 1950. 1876, guys. Alright, where we at? Where are we going? Can't trust this thing too much, it's dead. Hold him for balance though in theory. Okay. This is a tough day, guys. There's one. Another one up there fell over. I'm gonna have to get another battery. Nothing on that. It's a military right there. Marble. Looks like military marble. It's fell over though. It's fallen down into the grave. Okay, I see. So I'm gonna start working my way back out around the hill, I guess. I believe that's about it here. Yeah, I'm gonna go take me a break. It's been a tough one. I actually said that earlier about today being an easy day. Well, as near as I can tell, that covers all of the graveyard, and get everything lined out, because unfortunately find a grave is dead wrong on this one. It is dead wrong. This is totally, it's got the completely wrong cemetery, wrong location. Everything about the listing is wrong. Anyway, well guys, I hope y'all enjoyed our little traipse through the woods out here today, and another old cemetery. Like I said, this one in Logan, West Virginia, the oldest one around, where the original settlers to the area first came. Very first settlement right in here. It's a good spot though. You're up out of the river, and yeah, you're up away from the floods, and you can hunt right out your back door, and yeah, everything you could possibly need if you know how to go about finding it. You've got a grocery store right out your back door if you know how to do it. Anyway guys, I appreciate y'all coming along today. I hope you enjoyed the pretty scenery and watching Leo crawl through the briars. Some people seem to enjoy that. So Leo out. See you guys next time.